If I asked you, can you marry a relative, who would put their hands up?
如果我問大家可唔可以同你嘅親戚結婚，可以嘅請舉手。
Anybody?
有冇人舉手啊？
Well, you have a problem, folks.
哼，老友，咁你就有問題啦。
Because if you're not marrying a relative, you're not marrying a human being.
因為如果你唔係同親戚結婚，你就唔係同人類結婚啦。
Because the Bible says we all came from Adam and Eve.
因為聖經話我哋都係由亞當同夏娃而嚟噶嘛。
So we have to be all part of one human family.
所以我哋係一個大家庭嘅一部分。
But what about the different races?
咁唔同種族嘅人係點嚟嘅呢？
Like these two beautiful girls.
好似呢兩個好靚嘅 BB 女。
Well, actually, they have the same mother and father. They're twins.
其實佢哋係由同一個父母親而嚟，佢哋係孖生嘅。
Because we are all just different combinations of the same stuff.
因為我哋係同一樣嘅東西，只係唔同嘅組合。
One of the most sensational findings of modern biology
其中一樣現代生物學最轟動嘅發現係
is that we are all astonishingly closely related.
我哋係有令人驚訝咁近嘅關聯。
Theories of human evolution have had to be drastically rewritten.
人類進化嘅理論要戲劇性地重新改寫。
But you could have predicted that from the Bible all along.
但其實你睇聖經都會預計到㗎啦。
So how come there are these different colours?
咁點解佢哋有唔同嘅膚色呢？
Actually, there is only one chemical for colour in people.
其實喺我哋人類裏邊，只係得一種化學物質嚟決定我哋嘅膚色。
It's a brown chemical called melanin.
係一種啡色嘅化學物質，叫做黑色素。
Whatever information you carry for how much melanin will be in your skin
你帶住決定有幾多黑色素喺你皮膚嘅信息
will tell you what shade of brown you are.
就會決定你係邊一種啡色。
Some people are called black.
有啲人係叫黑人。
But if you look closely, they're actually dark brown.
如果你走近啲睇，其實佢哋係深啡色。
Can you believe that people call me white?
你相唔相信有人叫我做白人啊？
I tell them my shirt is white.
我會話俾佢聽，我件恤衫就係白色。
I'm not.
我唔係白色。
Can you see the difference?
你睇唔睇到個分別啊？
I'm actually very light brown.
我其實係好淺嘅啡色。
I have a little bit of pink in there.
我仲有少少嘅粉紅色。
But that's only because I don't have enough of that sun-blocking melanin
只係我冇足夠嗰種可以擋太陽嘅黑色素
to stop the red colour of my blood showing through.
去阻止我血嘅紅色透出嚟。
What about the different eye colours?
咁唔同眼睛嘅顏色係點樣嚟嘅呢？
It's the same stuff, melanin.
都係同一樣嘅東西，黑色素。
If you have the information for a lot of it in the iris of your eye,
如果你帶住決定有好多黑色素喺你虹膜嘅信息，
you will have brown eyes.
你就會有啡色嘅眼睛。
If you have the information for only a little bit,
如果你帶住決定有少少黑色素嘅信息，
you will have blue eyes.
你就會有藍眼睛。
There's no blue paint in blue eyes.
藍色嘅眼睛唔係因為有藍色嘅色素喺裏邊，
It only looks blue because of the light scattering from the little bit of brown melanin.
只係睇嚟係藍色，因為啲光俾少少嘅黑色素分散咗。
If you have melanin, the information for a lot of melanin in your hair, you will have brown or black hair.
如果你帶住決定有好多黑色素喺你頭髮嘅信息，你就會有啡色或者黑色嘅頭髮。
If you have the information for a little bit, you will have blonde hair.
如果你帶住決定有少少黑色素嘅信息，你就會有金頭髮。
So does that mean that blue-eyed blonde people have less information?
咁即係話藍眼睛、金頭髮嘅係有少啲嘅信息？
That's a joke.
講笑啫。
But we do know that Adam and Eve could not have been blue-eyed, blonde-haired, pale-skinned.
但我哋知道亞當同夏娃唔會係藍眼睛、金頭髮、白皮膚。
Or they couldn't have given rise to all the different groups.
如果係咁嘅話，佢哋就唔可以有唔同種族嘅後代啦。
Because two brown-eyed parents with the right mix of genes
因為兩個啡色眼睛嘅父母有適合嘅基因組合嘅話，
can have blue-eyed and brown-eyed children.
可以有藍眼睛同啡眼睛嘅下一代。
But two blue-eyed parents
但係兩個藍眼睛嘅父母
generally can't have any brown-eyed children.
大多數都唔可以有啡眼睛嘅下一代。
They don't have enough information.
佢哋冇足夠嘅資訊。
So Adam and Eve were almost certainly brown-skinned, brown eyes, brown hair.
亞當同夏娃差唔多可以肯定係啡色嘅眼睛、啡色嘅皮膚同埋啡色嘅頭髮。
Which is like most of the world's population.
就好似而家全世界大部分嘅人咁。
What would you need to have the sorts of groups we have today?
我哋要有啲咩嘅因素先至可以有而家咁多嘅種族呢？
You would need something like the Bible describes at the Tower of Babel.
我哋要嘅就好似喺聖經講到巴別塔發生嘅事咁。
Where one large population was broken up suddenly into smaller ones.
就係一大群人忽然被拆成好多細嘅群組。
And each carries just a small fraction of the original mix of information.
每個群組只係帶咗少量原有資訊嘅種類。
Natural selection can fine-tune the whole thing.
自然選擇可以微調整件事情。
Let's say you have two groups of people.
假設有兩組嘅人，
One has more genes for dark skin.
其中有一組有多啲深色皮膚嘅基因，
The other one has more for light skin.
另一組有多啲淺色皮膚嘅基因。
And they both start migrating towards the equator.
佢哋兩組都開始移居到赤道嘅位置。
Those without enough protection from melanin
嗰啲冇足夠黑色素嚟保護佢哋嘅人，
will have more problems with skin cancer,
佢哋會容易啲生皮膚癌，
with sunburn,
同埋曬傷，
and with certain tropical skin diseases.
同埋有啲熱帶地方嘅皮膚病。
So it's no surprise that the ones that remained and survived in those regions
所以一啲都唔出奇，如果喺嗰度生存到嘅人
have more melanin.
有多啲黑色素。
It's also no surprise why the people in Norway and Sweden all have less melanin.
所以都唔出奇，點解喺挪威同瑞典嘅人全部都有少啲嘅黑色素？
Because if a dark-skinned group after Babel migrated too far north,
因為如果喺巴別塔走出嚟嘅深色皮膚群組移居得太靠向北方，
where there is not much sunshine,
喺嗰度冇乜陽光，
they won't have enough vitamin D.
佢哋就唔會有足夠嘅維他命 D，
Because your skin uses sunshine to make vitamin D.
因為你嘅皮膚需要用陽光嚟製造維他命 D，
And so they will have things like bone diseases.
咁佢哋就會有好多骨嘅病。
There is much more detail in the Answers book.
喺創世答問呢本書裏邊會有更加多嘅資料。
But let me say that the same things in principle apply to things like the shape of your eyes or your nose.
等我話俾大家聽，頭先講嘅嘢理論上係可以套用喺你個鼻生成點，同埋你隻眼生成點。
These are not separately evolved things.
呢啲唔係個別進化嘅結果。
We sometimes show this picture
我哋有時會將呢幅相俾人睇，
and ask people, what do you notice?
問下大家你發現到啲乜嘢啊？
And most people say the pipe
大部分人都會話個煙斗咯，
or the scars.
或者嗰啲疤痕咯。
But this lady is 100% African.
佢係100%非洲嘅女士，
And her eyes look very much like Japan, Korea.
但係佢嘅眼就好似日本同埋韓國人咁。
Some people are surprised by this story.
有啲人對以下嘅故事覺得好驚訝。
These are two Australians,
呢兩個都係澳洲人，
obviously two separate people groups.
好明顯係兩個唔同種族嘅人啦。
They were best friends in the Vietnam War.
佢哋經過越戰之後成為咗好朋友。
This man was dying of kidney disease,
呢個人患咗腎病，而且有生命嘅危險，
and he needed a new kidney.
佢需要換腎。
And the best match was from his friend,
最吻合嘅就係嚟自佢嘅好朋友，
who gave him the kidney and he survived.
佢捐咗一個腎俾佢，令到佢可以存活。
And many people are surprised at that.
好多人都覺得好詫異，
But we shouldn't be because we're all closely related.
我哋唔應該詫異啊，因為我哋都有好近嘅關聯。